I ain't got no problem with it. I promise you that shit.
Listen to the words. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off. No, come find me. No, come find me. Listen to the words. Come find me. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off.
I ain't a hard guy to find. I promise you that shit.
Listen to the words. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Long time no see. Haven't seen you since Monday evening here on the channel, at least for me. You guys have had a heck of a daily, or a weekly dose, rather, of the Baxter Street Boys. Those guys have been bringing you 2 episodes a week, one live on Monday, and then one kind of preview episode every Thursday. So those guys have been banging out the content. I hope you've been enjoying them. Man, they had a killer show last night, even for like a Vanderbilt preview that was available today on the YouTube channel. Hope you guys are loving all that, giving it a thumbs up. We haven't done a Q&A in a good minute. We've done a lot of, these are my observations. This is what I thought was noteworthy. This is what I thought you needed to know, or this is what I thought we should talk about today. I haven't opened up the floor to you guys in a fat minute. So here we are today. Old intro, not old concept, right? Not new concept, right? Q&A. Been a while since we've been doing this. Forgive me. Randomly today, just slammed with a bunch of nasal stuff. So if it sounds like I'm breathing through a windpipe, it's because I'm breathing through a very, very small windpipe is what it feels like right now. Nonetheless, a great night of programming for you guys tonight. We will also be live again Sunday night with the 4 Wide podcast. Might have to rebrand that one. Those guys had a killer show Sunday, just the 3 of them, Jeremiah, John, and of course Dan Kiley as well. So enough promoting of the platform. You guys also know to subscribe to the channel if you are not already. We don't do enough of flash subscribe to the channel, right? So flash subscribe to the channel. This is also me giving the live chat audience an opportunity to load that chat up with questions. You guys know, on Q&A format, if you haven't been here in a while, OGs and the subs, the super subs tonight get addressed first and foremost. So if you want to make sure we get your question answered today, make sure to throw in a super sub into the chat. That'll get everything handled. All right. I think we've done enough freelancing right now for you guys to have loaded up some questions. So I'm here to do this for as long as you guys are able and willing tonight. I know there's a Thursday night football broadcast going on, a couple of college football games going on as well. Glad you guys chose to be here with us tonight. What else we got to do? Shouts out to the Gramco. Let me take this banner off the bottom right quick so you guys can actually see thegramco.com, our only sponsor here for a reason. They are our premier partner here on the channel. So thegramco.com, promo code Brooks25, get you 25% off all the latest and greatest in the Delta 8 and CBD space. That's right. Let's get after it. Let's do some Q&A right quick. Here we go. Let's start all the way from the top. My boy Rob Franklin was in here. Was in here 12 minutes before kick. Was in here like during pregame lobs. During pregame lobby. We're out there just getting the pregame warm-up going on. And my boy Rob Frank was in the chat. Who is the best running back at this point in the season? Robinson looked great last week. Here's my answer. Dejon Edwards has looked tremendous. I have also been really, really pleased with what Kenny has managed to put together whilst being injured. This has been a guy kind of been banged up his whole career, and not a product of his doing, right? It's just bad luck. Things like bone bruises, like in your thigh board, that's just taking a helmet the wrong way. You can't do more quads. You can't do like more squats to protect your quads from a helmet getting caught in the wrong spot, right? There's nothing you can do about that. That's football. That's bad luck. That's life kind of situations. Him playing through that, particularly the Missouri game, I thought kind of boosted his draft stock. That's not, quoted straight from NFL personnel. That's just my opinion. I know that was the knock going into this season. Can Kenny play banged up? He's kind of checked those boxes. I also kind of wanted to see what's Dejon Edwards look like not in garbage time. I think you kind of heard Kirby Smart talk about that in the preseason. We know who Dejon is I think he called it mop-up duty. We know who Dejon is in mop-up duty, but is he a guy on first and second down in the first quarter? Well, you have the answer to that this early part in this season as well. So I don't think it's a who's the best. I think all those guys have been doing really, really well. And I think Kendall struggled to get to 100% health. And right as he was about there, another one. So again, bad luck, no part of his doing. A lot of football injuries are not because the guy's lazy, right? Of course, those things happen. But at Georgia, that crap don't happen. Not to the ones that are playing. If they're out there playing and they're getting banged up and they're getting hurt, man, that's just bad freaking luck. All right. Also, guys, always remember to put a question mark. I know it sounds silly. Put a question mark on your questions because if not, I might pass by them. Okay. Brooks, question: have they settled on 5 guys up front, or will they continue to rotate? I think they kind of have settled to an extent. And what I mean by that is Kirby clearly, to me, I don't know if he believes this or if he's showing this. And he might be doing this because talented football players have to get onto the field. But if you have 8 really, really talented offensive linemen, which I think they believe that they have, I'm including Warren Erickson into that equation. I'm including Devin Willock into this conversation, right? So kind of that 7, and then Amarius Mims as well makes 8, plus the starting 5. Those kind of 8 guys they think are talented enough to start for anybody in the SEC. So I think it would behoove you as a program that promotes talented football players play, best football players play, to play them. So do you have a starting 5? 100%. But does Amarius Mims need reps at right tackle? Yeah, he does. He 100% does, and he deserves them too because he's playing well. See what I mean? So, like, have they settled in on a 5? Yeah, but do they need to? No. I think the good news is you should settle in on a 7. I think Amarius Mims is good enough to play football for you. I think Devin Willock is good enough to get out there and work with Xavier Truss. No different than the way that, like, Kirby talks about his defensive back room where he uses certain guys for certain things. I would do the same thing for my offensive line at the University of Georgia if I were the coach. If I were talking to Stacey Searles right now, I would say, yeah, every week, if you thought counter was in the playbook more, Devin Willock would be starting. He's a better player in space. He's a better athlete from what I've seen on film. If y'all are a screen team that week, he needs to be playing. He needs to be playing a lot. If y'all are going into a game plan where it's, hey, we're going to maul these guys going forward, then yeah, you probably need to be playing Xavier Truss. If it's, we're going to do a little bit of both and we need somebody out there on the unit that's really got an FU attitude, that's really pushing people around and fighting to the echo of the whistle, then Xavier Truss never comes off the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know your football team. And right now, your coach is telling you your football team is best when 8 guys play on the offensive line. And you know what? As much of a continuity guy as I am, he said earlier in the year it doesn't affect anything. I call boo hockey on that. I hate, I'm not going to say hated. I dislike strongly when my offensive lines went through positions or, time periods where we couldn't figure out who a guy was at left guard or who a guy was at right guard, because that meant for 2.5 quarters, I was playing with one joker, and for 2.5 quarters, I was playing with another. And I can't express to you how hard or difficult that is, except for to explain to you, it would be like a pitcher having to throw different innings with a different catcher every day. That would be hard if you had to go out there first inning, throw to one guy, second inning, throw to another guy. That's kind of how it is. Your body moves. Everyone's body moves different. So it would bother me. It doesn't bother these guys. They're way too good for it to even bother them. They're good, really good football players. I promise you this much. If I get an offensive lineman this week, Dan, I'll ask them, because I want them to tell me, because I'll see if they're lying to you, because they're going to give me the player answer, which is, no, it's all the same. You just go out there and do your job. Well, as an offensive line, me doing my job is really, really dependent upon the guy next to me doing his. And if that is constantly changing, you would think it would cause a hiccup. But all that being said, they are kind of playing and settled in to a traditional 5. All right. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button as well. Appreciate all you guys for being here. That's how we trick that algorithm, okay? That thumbs up will get us more people here. And every once in a while tonight, we're going to stand up, okay? My legs have been a little bit stiff as of late. Been sitting in the car a lot today. Here we go. Stick D's. What's up with you, baby? He asks, are A.D. Mitchell and Arian Smith likely to see the field Saturday? What % are they according to your sources? So Here's the deal. I have not really expected AD Mitchell to be a full go, kind of like, hey, we need to see what this guy can do, throw him the ball until Florida. Okay. So after the bye week, I was shocked to see him out there running on the field against Auburn last week from the box. Looked real rough, looked real stiff, didn't look comfortable. And he got in about midway through the second, so I could understand why he would be that way. If to me, if you're going to get AD Mitchell carries, or carries the wrong term, if you're going to get AD Mitchell reps on Saturday, get him reps with the first team on the first series. First series of the game, soon as he comes out of the daggum tunnel, he is nice and loose, body feels great, throw that joker onto the field. Do not wait 3 series and then go ask him to loosen up the ankle. It's going to stay stiff on him. He looked really stiff Saturday. I don't really expect them to call upon any of these guys. Okay. But here's the deal. If Georgia don't handle business, just like they didn't handle business against Missouri, then you do have to play Jalen Carter midway through the second quarter. And you do have to overexpose yourself to potential injury. Okay. They went into that football game not expecting to play 88. You guys saw it. Midway through the second quarter, they look up and say, shit, if they score here, we're in trouble, coach. Get 88 on the field. Handle your business. These guys don't play. Okay. Handle your business. I think Arian Smith is part of handling that business this week, right? He is much more, closer to that, full return than he was previously. But here's the other thing about Arian. Y'all aren't really running a whole bunch of spread stuff right now anyways. Y'all are bunching a lot more than you're spreading. Okay, y'all are playing out of 12 a whole lot more than you are 11. So that means a lot of these wide receivers may not be getting as many opportunities as they were a year ago, if that makes sense. Long answer to answer your question as to whether or not people are completely healthy. Cole Dowdy with the super sub. Let's knock out these super subs right quick. Rob Franklin didn't ask a question. He just threw it up there. Appreciate you for the dub. So we're up 2 free subs. Y'all know the deal around here. All these super subs go straight back into the community. We give free subscriptions to our Patreon platform immediately after the show. So Rob Franklin says, here's 2. And then Rudes hops in here. What's up, Rudy? Says high tops or low tops. I mean, you know me, I'm a low tops guy. We're ones tonight. We're low grade ones tonight. I think, hold on. I think personally for me, I'm a bigger fella, as you guys can see. Personally for me, anything higher than a mid top, which is what these are, anything higher than a mid top makes me look real clunky and chunky, which I already am. So you guys know, I mean, most people, they kind of, the first thing they gravitate towards me is how rotund I am, right? And then they say something about my calves. All right, this is just a weird thing. Rudy knows this better than anybody. Low tops really accentuate that. If you got good calves, gentlemen, hey, get them short shorts up. Okay, I know it feels weird. 5-inch inseams. Holler at me. Do it. Okay, trust me. And if you're a calf guy, always low tops. So there you go. Tremendous question with a super sub. I think we had a couple more of these. Let's bang these right out. Cole Dowdy actually asked a question this time. Where's the deep ball? Only one true deep ball. He's talking about Stetson, I would imagine, here at this point. They have been off the last couple of weeks. First has been, I thought Ladd, we showed you on film review, thought Ladd was a little slow out the break on that one. So let's give it half to Stetson, half to Ladd. Okay, let's do that. All right. And then the Brock Bowers miss, complete, utter miss. If you're asking me to sit here and break down where are the mechanical flaws and issues with Stetson on this deep ball, there are none. Okay. I don't think there are. Me personally, I think he throws the football as fundamentally and mechanically clean as he possibly can. He has to. He's 5'9", 185 pounds, and he's got juice, folks. So in terms of, hey, he's doing this wrong on his lower half, or hey, he's leaned over his, he's really heavy on his left side, or hey, we're our weight transfers coming at the wrong time. None of that stuff's happening, and I can't see it. So what are the misses? The misses are just misses. And if we're just missing because we're missing, that's on you, Q. We got to figure that out eventually, right? I can't coach that out of you. 13, you got to make the plays. I think eventually he'll make the plays. So I don't think there's anything you need to worry about. If you guys remember, I'm not going to say famous, but was notorious for my JT Daniels kind of takes, right? I was the first kind of guy to walk in here and be like, hey, this deep ball stuff, it ain't great. Okay, he's missing plus minus 7 yards north, south, east, and west, right? If this is the target, he's here all the time. Why are we doing this? Well, there's a bunch of stuff in his lower half that we didn't like. So we pointed that out. We're not doing any of that with Stetson, right? It looks really, really clean to us. Where are the issues? The issues are misses. Okay. I can't make you hit every shot, right? That's you being a ball player. Gotta hit him. He'll be the first one to tell you that. Stick says, last super sub before we get back to our traditional questions. So hey, keep a running tab for me, Rudes. I think you were in here all night long. I think you're gonna be in here all night long. Keep a running tab for me on the super subs. So we make sure we give out their correct number of subscriptions. Obviously, guys, you can make this a lot easier right now. If you're watching us today and you are not a member of our Patreon family, if you're not on patreon.com/Brooks Austin and you are not a OG subscriber, okay, every $10 you see, every $9.99 you see, that could be yours, okay, via a subscription. Okay, my email is, I'll put it in the chat, okay, if you are watching us live, and just shoot it right now, okay? Shoot me an email, say, hey, I want that free sub, and it's yours before we get to Twitter. And then Twitter's free for all. Those things go in like, I think last time we counted 48 seconds. Okay, 48 seconds. We gave 30 subs away last time we did that. It was insanity. All right, here we go. Let's get back. What are the substitution rules for defense when facing a hurry-up offense like Tennessee? Please give some scenarios and strategies to take advantage of these rules. Kirby does something that I freaking love. I freaking love watching him do it. And I don't know if I'm not going to give him credit for inventing it. It's pretty smart. But as soon as the offense subs, you will see Georgia substitute every single fat guy they can. And they will tell those fat guys, you take as long as you very well please to get off that field. Because that line judge has to stand on the ball. Because that, to answer your question, Stick, is the rule. The referee does not have to stop play to do anything but set the sticks, except for when the offense changes personnel. As soon as the offense runs a player on or off the field, the defense has now the opportunity to run players on and off the field. And the referee will stand on top of the football until the defense is set. And then once the defense is set, you will see the referee bail away from the ball. They'll blow the whistle. They'll allow him to snap the ball. So how do you do this? This is what Kirby started doing, right? I noticed it against Tennessee. Okay, last year, I'm pretty sure he's done it in years past, but I haven't really studied them like I study them now till about a year and a half ago. Tennessee, probably 2 years ago. Tennessee wasn't in this conference until last year, right? So last year, first kind of opportunity to really study one of these, holy hell, they're moving fast offenses as an opponent scout. And that's what I noticed. As soon as they ran a tight end on in the field, I mean, they would sub Jordan Davis out, even if they didn't want to. Even if he was fresh and good to go, they would sub him out and sub everyone out just to get the pace to slow down. And that's the only way to do it, really, other than start faking injuries, which everyone's already done. I'm not an advocate for faking injuries. I thought it was fun to watch your football coach actually have a legitimate answer, not a, hey, we're just going to do it this way. Like everybody else, we're just basically going to cheat, which I'm not calling it cheating, but you guys know what it is. It's gamesmanship. It's no different than flopping in soccer, right? All that crap that everybody hates about European soccer or European football, all that stuff, same thing. A-Rick Gilbert going to see the field. Does UGA find a reliable X receiver at some point this season, or do we wait until next season and more recruits? Asked Jeff D. All right, so A-Rick Gilbert is a day-to-day thing. I don't know anything more than what your coach has told you, okay? We don't really do that on public platforms anyways. In fact, I don't think we've spoken about A-Rick Gilbert even on Patreon for I want to say a month, okay? Since it became a day-to-day from your coach prior to South Carolina. We haven't really talked about it. As far as a reliable X receiver, that is dependent upon A.D. Mitchell's health. Okay, I think he's the only one currently on the roster that is 6'2 plus, okay, a crafty route runner, got good enough hands to be reliable at all times on third down, can get open at all times against man-to-man coverage. Okay, the 6'2 plus is important as well. Otherwise, guys like Denylon Morissette may one day turn into that. Other than that, we have to kind of hope that, Denylon Morissette turns into, I don't know, Devonta Smith He's much thicker, right? But he's only 6 foot. So like I'm not saying there's limitations on these athletes, but you're asking about X receivers. I think Denial Morset is going to be a hell of a Z. The Devontae Smith is a draftable first round grade Z receiver. He does not do X receiver stuff in the NFL now. Okay. So like there's a physical prototype for what you're talking about. And also there's a physical prototype for the X receiver that is the X receiver in Todd Monken's offense. I'm not saying you have to be Mike Evans, but it sure as hell helped out when Mike Evans was in that offense playing the X, right? So that's kind of what it looks like as of right now. The only one kind of on the roster that you have that looks like it is A.D. Mitchell currently. And then in the moving classes, Raymond Cottrell could turn into that. Tyler Williams could turn into that. So you're good. All right. By the way, the guy that was just brought in Brian McClendon, I think this is his bag. His bag is find 6'3" absolute freakazoid dudes. That's what that guy's been doing his whole career. So it's kind of his mold. It's kind of his physical profile. Anyways, that's what he was recruiting even back in his days, his first time here at Georgia. Let's see here. We already did Arian Smith to see the field. We already did that stuff. Let's see here. Brooks, what grade would you give the offensive line thus far this season? I'd say a B plus, says Aaron Bennett. So as a unit, I didn't love the way that they blocked counter early in the year. So here's how I do this. It's a moving grade, right? Every week is different. The thing that I look for most when I look at a unit specifically is for improvement, signs of improvement. If you struggle with one concept, i.e. blocking the backside linebacker on counter, and you suck at it for a week or a half, and then you get better the next half or the next week, good unit. Good unit, because by week 14, great unit, right? And that's kind of what I see with the offensive line. Week 1 looked great, but guess what else looked great? The damn game plan. The game plan looked freaking flawless week 1 against Oregon, as did the execution of said game plan. And then every other week, not named South Carolina, it was kind of up and down. 1 week we're dropping balls on third down. 1 week we can't block counter again. 1 week odd fronts are giving us a little bit of trouble, right? The next week we look like the Goliath of Goliaths on the ground against Auburn. Fourth quarter, we look great against Missouri. Third quarter, we look like boo-boo against Missouri on the ground. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's been very, very up and down, but I see things where it's like they're bad here, they get better, okay? They didn't do great against Kent State's odd front. The next time they saw it in pass protection scenarios, I thought they did a better job. Those things to me matter, right? So long story short, what do I give it? Incomplete. I give it incomplete. What does it look like in November, guys? That's what it's going to matter. We've been talking about it on this platform for a fat minute. What you have found out about your football team over the last 4 weeks, including 5 weeks, including this week, is so damn vital for who you are come October 28th, I think it is, when you play Florida, November 5th when you go play Tennessee, or when you play Tennessee, November 12th when you go play Mississippi State, and November 19th when you go to Lexington and play Kentucky. That is who you are as a football team before you take a week off against Georgia Tech, and then you go find out what your season holds against Alabama, right? So the last 4 weeks, I'm not going to say we're about experimentation, but they were about where are our flaws and how by October 28th do we make sure we got that shit fixed. Well, one of the biggest flaws wasn't your offensive line. It's been how banged up you are. You are a banged up football team, just like with like nicks, scrapes, and like bruises. Okay, not like major injuries, not like like player X is out for 3 weeks. It's like player X is hurting like hell right now because this hurts, or like he got banged up here, right? Or his shoulder's tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's football right now that Georgia's going through, and everything is a sliding scale for me. That's how you gotta, I think, is the best way to go about evaluating these things as the season progresses, because they are very young individuals. They're very, very up and down. Where did the AP drop you in their NCAA 14 rankings? So as an independent contractor, I'm not obligated to answer this question. Week to week, I'm team to team. So Vanderbilt hella out the rankings, never was in it. Me, we're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? I mean, free agency is a dog-eat-dog world out there, and somebody going to pick your boy up next week. I promise you on Tuesday, somebody going to get them hands. All right? Let's see here. How much can and will Arian Smith fit into the offense moving forward since we are searching for playmakers on the outside? So, here's the thing about Arian. The bag is out on Arian, but everyone knows he's going deep. We all know that. But even when teams know that, he still draws attention. So when Arian Smith's on the field, he's going to draw attention. He might not draw the football. Does that make sense? So you still need him out there, though. You still need him out there because when he's out there and he runs straight down the field and that safety just, I mean, you can see his just eyes go, right? And go, oh no, I'm about to get beat and put on Sports Center. I better go now. As soon as he does that, here comes Ladd McConkey on the Dover. Or here comes Darnell Washington on the deep over, right? Or here's Brock Bowers on an out back in. Now we got room to work him and get him off of double coverage because we took the safety. Those things I think are much more valuable to this offense right now than any game that Arian Smith's going to come out and have 7 catches for 170 yards. We are so far from that happening right now. I think we are a little farther away from that happening, much closer to, hey, he drew a whole hell of a lot of coverage right here, and this is why we completed this ball that would have been a much tighter window. Question, you get offered by the University of Georgia offensive line coaching job, no guaranteed pay, $10,000 for every 4-star, $500,000 for every 5-star. You taking it? Are you kidding me? $500,000 to sign a 5-star. They've signed on an average of like 1.5 under Kirby Smart. Give me that. Yeah, we're taking that. I would be a dog on the recruiting trail. Are you kidding me? College or bust. Holler at me. They know where to find me. Georgia Oregon rematch. Who wins? Why y'all wasted time and breath texting that? You know what the answer is going to be. I think Dan Lanning would say he'd still get dubbed up by 20. I mean, they're a better football team right now than they were then. Don't get me wrong. Georgia, you could say, is a worse football team because they're not as healthy. But no, come on now. Let's not get too crazy. Now you've gone too far. Trey Mixon asks, how much can it? Well, Arian Smith's still doing the thing. All right, still doing the thing with the Arian Smith. Here we go. What does UGA need to focus on after the Vandy game headed into the bye week? Ask DGD the podcast. So at UGA, bye weeks are typically hell on absolute earth for twos. Hell on earth for twos. Just going to absolute. It's like revert back to camp in college football for 2s, 3s, and 4s, freshmen in particular. If you're a starter, lick your wounds. That's what y'all do. But if you're a 2 and they haven't seen you on the field, and like, who's a prime example of this? Ernest Green. Ernest Green, if his hammy is 100% good to go by bye week, bro, he's going to get his face beat in like his fall camp again. All right. Austin Blaschke, come on, son. Come on down. All right. Chad Lindbergh, come on down. Y'all going to be banging that head up against that wall. All right. Kristen Miller, yes, sir. Not happy about your reps, 52, I would imagine, because 99's been getting them all. That's all right. We're going to find out during bye week. That to me would be what the bye week would be about. See what you've got in terms of 2s, 3s, and 4s. All right. DJ Kiley doing the Lord's work right here. Hit that thumbs up button, man. Come on. All y'all loaded up in here. It's far more than 77 people at this point. Load it up. Hit that like button. Damn, I'm far behind on comments. Let's scroll all the way down. Let's make sure we get this one. Rich Rain says, how you feeling about the D-line group up to this point? Considering the injuries, again, is what you've got to pay attention to. They've been really, really banged up, right? As we get a super sub right here. I've been thoroughly impressed with the young guys. I thought, man, I'm not going to say I overlooked. I'm not going to say I overlooked or missed on Bear Alexander. It was impossible for me to formulate an opinion on Bear Alexander. I had nothing but sophomore tape on a guy that looked like he was 340 pounds and was monstrous as a sophomore. And then all I'm getting is like inklings of like, hey, his name is Bear. People call him Big Bear, but he's not like holy shit big. You know what I mean? Sorry for the language, but there's only so many ways to describe these things. Jordan Davis is holy shit big. Sean Washington, holy crap, big. walk up on you, my God, that dude, holy hell. Bear Alexander ain't one of these dudes. All that being said, holy crap, am I blown away by the football player that guy is? He don't have to be big. I think Aaron Donald has proved this. You do not have to be 6'5". You do not have to be Fletcher Cox. You do not have to be Jordan Davis. You got to be a block destroyer. You got to be a block shedder. That's what Bear Alexander is. He is so damn fast, so damn quick, and his hands are elite. I've been thoroughly impressed with 99. People will continue to do the Jordan Davis thing. He is not that. Please stop that. If you want to be an educated fan, say he reminds you of Devontae Wyatt, because that's what he looks like on tape. 6'3" under, 6'3" or under, okay? 310 pounds under. Elite first step, really, really fast hands, pretty relentless motor, believe it or not. Really, really good football player. All right. So as far as the D-line goes, man, I have been thoroughly impressed. And the thing that Michael Williams, we got to get back to flashing. Weeks 1 and 2, flashing. Okay. And it's not like snap counts are decreasing. He's averaging about 22 snaps a game right now. Has been throughout the year. So it's not like he's not getting an opportunity. So expecting a little bit more from 13 as the season progresses with regards to play recognition and block shedding ability. Bear is a stick of dynamite right now on the football field. And he's taking reps from Warren Brinson, who's also a football player that I've been thoroughly impressed with. I think it's funny. Every time I'm like, damn, 97. Wow, you made a hell of a play. And then you look up and he's like way down the chart in terms of snap counts, because there's not a lot of consistency with his playing time, because to be frank, there's not a lot of consistency with his performance throughout the week. And that's kind of been the bag from, I'm not going to say jump, but for a while. Are Tennessee and Mississippi State legit? Ask Elijah Allen. Yeah, their offenses are, which makes them legit. I think in college football, if you can walk in any Saturday and say, today we might score 35 against anybody, you can win, right? You can win football games in college football if you know for a fact, barring any type of craziness, you can score 30, 35 points. I think that's what Tennessee can do, and they're averaging way more than that, but we're talking about against the elites, right? This weekend, if they can score 35 points, they have a chance to beat Alabama. It does not matter. That will be a 4-quarter football game if you can score 35 points. And I think those two teams, Mississippi State and Tennessee, can score the football. Here's the thing, though. Mississippi State's been getting goose-egged by Alabama and Nick Saban. So whatever they got going on with the spread that's giving everybody else problems, it ain't doing nothing against that Crimson Tide. Look up them box scores, dude. It is miserable to look at that. All right, now, Georgia, when they played Mississippi State a couple years ago, Will Rogers had the game of his life. Maybe that's who that dude is against a soft shell zone, but over time, he is typically not. Over time, he is 69% completion percentage. He's going to eventually get behind on sticks and throw an incomplete ball on 3rd and 8 in plus territory, bring on the punt unit. That's kind of what Will Rogers is against really, really elite football teams. And until that changes, are they legit? Yes, they're legit against everybody not named Georgia and Bama. And we're going to find out, right? Against those two teams. They're better than everybody else, though. And that says a whole hell of a lot. Whole hell of a lot. What's good, fam? What's good with you, Pope? Tobias? Why not use Big Washington more in the red zone? Guy blocks his tail off. Throw him a bone from time to time. It's a great point. Here's the problem. Hey, I don't think Zero's got any problem with his usage. Everyone always has a problem with Zero's usage. Everyone. It's like, we got to get Zero more touches. Bro, turn that tape on, watch the effort play from Zero. Just like how hard he's playing. And when I see that stuff, we're good. The kids, I'm not saying the kid's happy. That dude's going out and efforting, blocking, working his ever-loving ASS off, okay? So, yeah, he probably wants the ball, but he's competitive enough to worry about winning right now, which is what everybody else is worried about too, right? I guarantee you they know where their best matchups are. And I'm not picking on you, Tobias. I'm talking about in general, okay? There's this notion or concept that offensive coordinators don't know who their best weapons are. Why wouldn't they know? They know in the red zone who their best chance is to win. They practice with us. The whole point of practicing, right? To identify these things. So if they're not choosing to do those things in the goal line situations or in the red zone situations, well, then maybe they're telling you something that they have evaluated or they've figured out. You can only tight end, pop pass, jump over Henry To'o so many times, right? When you're thinking of Darnell Washington in the red zone, what are you thinking? Hey, let's just throw it up to him, right? Well, everyone else in the stadium, including the defensive coordinators and the defense, is thinking the same exact thing. So until there's a level of unpredictability, which is exactly what he is as a blocker, when he is on the field with his hand in the ground or being used as a blocker, Georgia's offense has so much of a level of unpredictability as a run game football team. They can do so much more things when Zero's on the field than they can do when he is not. Okay, particularly in the red zone. So I think he's impacting the red zone offense tremendously. It doesn't always have to be, hey, let's just throw Zero the ball because we need to throw Zero the ball. They do plenty of that. Watch them on 2nd and 2. They do a bunch of spacing, right? They just run to a bunch of hitches, okay, and try to throw Zero the ball right in his chest. They do these types of things. They will get into empty and have Zero just run a little hitch on soft zone coverage. They manufacture touches when they need to. They don't need to be forcing touches, okay? We can manufacture touches. There's a difference between forcing touches. And I think just because we're in the red zone and 0-6-8, we need to throw him the ball. That's forcing a touch. That's not manufacturing a touch, if that makes sense. If you were to pick any team to cover like you do UGA, who would you pick? Maybe USC. Maybe USC. Take me out to LA, but here's the deal. I don't think my industry, I shouldn't speak for companies. I don't think there's a sliding scale of pay on the internet if I go out and live in LA. And it's a whole hell of a lot more expensive to live in LA. And I don't think just because we go cover the Trojans, we're going to suddenly make more dollars on each impression. That's not going to happen. So I think we're blessed in the situation that we're in. Yes, I don't know. I think a big market is what you got to seek for first, right? And then most importantly, with the way that I do my business, I would die if I wouldn't die. I would be. There would be no market for me if the team is bad. Does that make sense? Because if I don't have anything nice to say, guys, there's stuff we could be like hypercritical on the film. We never bring it to you because there's no point in it. There's no point in me just saying this is really, really bad. This guy get fixed. The things that are like critical issues that need to get fixed, we do that. But we don't harp on any negatives, right? We don't really, really grind on like this is horrible, right? Whereas on other programs, watch our what to expects when we have them. Okay. We did one against South Carolina, and I told you straight up, this dude repeats concepts over and over and over again. I mean, within 2 or 3 drives, he's repeating concepts. If I had to cover somebody like that, I don't know if you guys would gravitate to me because y'all would just think I'm just negative Nancy and an asshole. So I don't know. I'm very, very blessed to be doing what I do where I do it because there's a whole hell of a lot more where I look at it and go, wow, damn, they're well coached, or damn, I would have never thought to do it that way, right? Like those things provoke my mind. Those things, I said on Twitter, it's like a little kid in a candy store. That's like my first time falling in love with football. I feel those same emotions when I find something that Monken's done and coordinating tendencies, right? Like we've been harping on how the tight end slip screen, underhand little shovel pass that Stetson's tried to complete to Brock Bowers looked absolute terrible twice. So I said, scrap it from the playbook. Well, he kind of did, but he kind of didn't. When he's up 35 points in the fourth quarter against Auburn, and they're literally just out there in the middle of the fourth quarter trying something, as soon as he got into a situation where he's like, hey, have the mental wherewithal and the recall to call that play, okay, and make the adjustment and get it on tape and see it and see if it works And by God, they got it completed. It didn't hit to Oscar Delp, but they got it completed, right? So like when I see things like that, those things really, really spark my interest in like my wonderment factor, right? That's kind of something I've been listening to over and over again. I got a book in here by Yogi Roth talking about the 5-star quarterbacks, and he was doing an interview talking about the book, talking about the wonderment factor. We're as children, we're born with this like we want to see the world. We're curious about everything, right? And the greats at what they do, they have wonderment and curiosity about what it is that they're doing, right? So I am a football nut. I'm a film guy. When I study your football program at the University of Georgia, it just keys my wonderment brain all over the place because it just makes me want to keep growing, right? It makes me want to keep learning and trying to figure out like, what are they doing? How are they doing this, right? So long story short, I don't know what I would do if I had to cover somebody else. Where would I go? If it were my choice, if I were a free agent, I would be seeking after the biggest brand, the biggest market, and a coordinator and a coach that I really, really admired and enjoyed studying because otherwise, man, we'd be miserable. We really, really would. God forbid Kirby Smart retires. I don't know what we're going to do. The next guy better be good because whenever that happens, 25 years from now or whatever, Kirby Smart steps down, I would imagine by then, you guys, this army right here of Film Guy Network supporters, probably going to be pretty large by that point. So next one better not come in here with no Fugazi stuff. All right. No repeating concepts on 3rd and 4, 2 possessions in a row, right? No spamming the halfback screen button just because it worked. Okay. None of that nonsense that childish programs and childish coordinators do. Okay. That stuff starts happening here, man. Y'all gonna have fun watching me have a coronary on TV. So that'll be fun. Anyways, let's get back to it. Everybody asking about the Film Guy merch, man. We gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I mean, everybody keeps asking for it, but here's the deal. I feel like it's the same 7, 8, 9, 10 people asking for the merch. If that's gonna be the case, that's fine. We can have a Film Guy fan. We'll just all pick a day. We'll all wear it and take photos of it, and we'll send it to each other via text or something. That'd be cool. But if it's just like 10 or 11 people that continue asking about the merch, that's fine. But until there's like people knocking down the doors, got to get the merch. We probably won't be going out of our ways for merch. Let's get over here. Who will be the next freshman to step up? Marvin Jones Jr. I've been waiting for this one, as you could tell with how quickly the answer came out. I've been waiting for this one. 7's been getting on the field more, guys. Pay attention on special teams, okay? Pay attention to who they're asking to do what on special teams. That'll tell you who's closest to playing. Okay, the two big boys too, not just defensive backs, right? Dalen Everett was playing special teams the day he walked into Georgia because he's a defensive back. He can tackle and he can run. Duh, you're playing kickoff, all right? But when we're talking about punt return, kickoff return, and you see numbers like 11 and 7 out there, 19, pay attention to it. Those are freshmen that are probably going to get on this defense before the year is over with. Let's see here. Who do you think of next year's class will contribute as freshmen? So let me do what everybody does right here because I don't remember all 17 yet right now. Give me till signing. Give me signing day. We'll be able to rattle through all the commits right off dome, right off the top right there. Right now we're not there. So, here's one. Just because I know your staff absolutely loves him. I do think AJ Harris maybe doesn't compete immediately for playing time. But he's gonna fight somebody for playing time. Okay. He's built like that. Mentally, just a little bit different. Okay, a little bit different. Let's see here. You also got to take into account positions that will be depleted, right? So safety is one of these. Chris Smith going to be gone. Dan Jackson, I believe, is a senior. Keely Ringo, we don't know. Draftable this year, perhaps. Maybe Keely Ringo and Kamari come back, and then you're a really, really deep football team. You're going to be deep at inside linebacker. So Raylan Wilson, Troy Bowles, CJ Allen, really great football players. Probably going to be year 2 football players, right? Offensive line, you're probably going to be set next year. Cedric Van Pran Granger, draftable grade this year. Does he want to come back for a 4th year? Who knows? We're going to find out there, right? Warren McClendon, probably going to be gone. Marius Mims steps in there. Left tackle, Broderick Jones, draftable grade. Is he going to be gone? Don't know. Ernest Green stepping in there. I'm going to tell you right now, none of these offensive linemen will be in 2023. ready, that is. Let's see here. When you just rattle through it like that, you're going to have to bank on like a young edge player like a Gabe Harris maybe coming in and doing something. But even that, think about how deep the 2022 edge class was, right? We just got done talking about how Marvin Jones Jr. is going to be a freshman that's going to be on the field this year. Well, he's going to be a sophomore next year. So I think of all the classes, 2023 strikes me as a class, maybe a year two class. Okay. All those guys. Again, when you rattle them off, maybe Tyler Williams is a walk-in day one X receiver. Okay. But even then, still got a bunch of guys on the roster, that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Thumbs up at all times. Thumbs up at all times. Hit that button. Oh, we got some love for the artwork. Thank you, Robert. Love the artwork on the walls. My 2-year-old gives me the best. Here's another subscription. Appreciate you, bro. Let's walk through this. We got the Jordan box from a pair of sneakers that I actually cut out. Don't know why, but I thought it looked cool. I'm a big chaos guy. Everything in here is chaotic. We've never walked through the set, have we? Never walked through the set. So let's do this. Okay. First of all, Robert, appreciate you. All of these are wedding kind of photos of me and the wife at different weddings. So if you have a photo booth at the wedding, me and the wife going to come through there. We're not going to do anything scandalous, but we're going to take some funny photos. Some more of those up at the top. Some love letters from my wife, all in and around here. This is kind of her memorial over here. Shouts out to Hales Bales upstairs. Tickets to Rome Braves up there. A couple of dates back in our days when we were living in Rome. National Championship Sports Illustrated edition. We gave those away at the tailgate at the Oregon kickoff game. Ray Lewis signed autograph. My college football helmet with a baseball, I believe that's signed by Hank Aaron. Don't know, haven't looked at it. My Film Guy logo and desk, kind of like, people have to like principal so-and-so. That's Film Guy so-and-so. A mural of me and my fat butt getting whooped in college. And then, yes, all of my paintings from the children. And this is my favorite. Highly, highly dangerous. I mean, just really, really dangerous. But I figured I don't have enough weaponry in the house. So I went out and bought an Excalibur sword. Just kidding. It was given to me as a 4-year letterman in high school. So there you go. There's a walkthrough of the set. Don't know why you asked. Don't know who asked. I think for the remainder of the show, however, I will hold this. Let's see here. Thoughts on Robinson 1 and Robinson 2 being your backfield soon? So he's obviously talking about Branson and Roderick Robinson. Both very, very similar running styles. So I don't think they will be running backs 1 and 2. If you notice, under Monken, you kind of have like a 1A and a 1B. 1A being kind of like that gadgety back, the Kenny McIntoshes, James Cooks, kind of how they're using Dejon Edwards, jet sweeping him right. And then you have the 1B, the kind of the bruiser, right? The first down traditional carry backs. That's the Kendall Miltons, the Zamir Whites, the Branson Robinsons, the Roger Robinsons, the real freaky ones. Okay. And Branson showed signs of being able to do this on Saturday. The ones that are built like, brick shit houses, but can also do the twitchy stuff in space. Those are the really, really special ones. And I think Branson might be that. I don't know if Roderick is that yet. I'm going to be honest with you. That junior scout's really, really interesting. The senior scout, I should say. This year's senior evaluation and film is really, really vital for him for me to see if there's some twitch. I think that's a really linear athlete right now. And those things scare me, knowing that, hey, Todd Monken would prefer a back that can do like all kinds of things, not just, hey, he's really great in between the guards. And by God, if a safety comes downhill in the fourth quarter, he's going to obliterate him. That's great. We got to have those two. We got to bring those two. But the elites of the elites are the combinations of both. Whole bunch of love for the merch, apparently. So, all right. Any bust players-wise this year? I don't like labeling guys bust, not this early. I think I'm a year 2, it ain't working out kind of guy. And I'm also not a year 2, it ain't working out kind of guy. Put them out on blast in public because then you guys take that stuff to social media. That happened to me about I want to say about 8 months, maybe about 8 or 9 months ago, maybe into last year, where I was like, oh no, dude, you got to be really, really careful about how you frame your opinions, because people take your opinions and they kind of weaponize them on social media. Like I have found my takes being used by some of you yahoos in your arguments, but you take my takes and you ramp them up by like 1,000, right? Like the Bear Alexander comment earlier. Maybe you only heard me say he's smaller than I thought he was. And then you take that and you're like, well, Bear's little. That's why this is happening. No, probably not. Like that's an example of something like that that I have to be very, very careful with. And to label a kid's bust, I'm not doing that. So yeah, not really my bag there. Even though I really appreciate I understand. I understand the purpose of the question. But you guys know who these things are. It doesn't take long. Look, year 2 and year 3, unless you are playing an inside linebacker, defensive, like nose tackle under Jordan Davis, or quarterback, if you ain't on the field, if they are not manufacturing ways to get you onto the field, we all get the point, right? I don't have to sit here and do that. Have you mentioned Gramco enough? No, I have not. Hey, dude, check this out. Gramco, and check the Wake and Bake logo on the back. A little bit scandalous for me. I'm not like, hey, let's just embrace the flower logo everywhere I go, guy. But shouts out. Gramco, promo code Brooks25, get you 25% off. All right. JKKJR82. I guess JKGJR 1 through 81 must have been taken. So, guy, was a really laborsome joke. What's our best case scenario for quarterback situation next year? Who stays and hits the road? Too much talent to be keeping the bench warm, all and cozy. Big fan of the content. Appreciate you, buddy. Here's the deal. Best case scenario: Carson Beck starts for a year, throws for 4,000 yards, wins the Heisman's first overall pick. And then Brock Vandagriff starts in 24, does something similar. And then Gunnar Stockton starts in 25. There you go. Nobody transfers. You don't have nothing. I guarantee you right now, Kirby Smart prays at night that is exactly the situation that happens. Is that the reality of the situation? Probably not. Probably not. The reality of the situation, history tells you, is that somebody's leaving. People ask me all the time, who's going to be the one to leave? I'm not telling you. I'm not. I don't like to, just like I don't label kids bust, I don't like to throw kids into the portal before the kid even realizes he wants to leave. That y'all do that stuff as fans, and now I understand, because it's a portal culture and more kids leave nowadays than ever before. We all know this. Feels like during January, all I write is so and so entered the portal. You guys are conditionalized to believe this and think this way, and most of the time you are correct. But maybe it would just behoove you to say, I hope that everyone on that roster is content with just getting better through the season, and then knowing that in January, everything starts clean. Stetson Bennett is gone, and everything is square one. Go to freaking war, and whoever comes out alive is the guy. And if you're not comfortable with where you are, here's the door and your papers. God bless you. Happy trails. That kind of thing. I think that's kind of what the motto is moving forward in college football for everybody that can recruit at a really, really elite level. Y'all got some comments about the potato going on. Still trying to figure out who's sending me potatoes, which just the mentioning of the potato means that I will be getting another potato. So that's fine. The last one fell behind the studio set. So it's probably growing spuds at this point. Potatoes are a spud. But what do they grow? Because I've noticed through, personal experience that if you leave a potato around in the open long enough, it will eventually start to grow fungi off the sides of it. So yeah, it's probably back there doing something along those lines. Jordan Louis, if you want to know about Jordan Louis, hit us up on patreon.com/Brooks Austin. That's a conditional kind of information. Do we think there's any chance Monken stays after this year? I think there is a solid chance. I wouldn't say a high chance. I would give it about 50-50 stay or leave. And here's why. I don't know if Todd Monken wants to be a head coach again. And that's the only reason he would leave, right? I mean, it's not to be an NFL coordinator. Why would you do that? Being an NFL coordinator is so hard, and those jobs are so volatile, and you're not going to make any more money than you're making right now at the University of Georgia. Why would you go be the offensive coordinator somewhere when Kellen Moore gets a freaking head coaching job? Why would you do that to yourself at 59 years old? I think he is 58 this year. So I don't know his intentions, so I can't tell you whether or not he leaves or he goes. I can tell you he's got a real cushy job right now. A real cushy job right now. And I wouldn't leave that thing for all of King Midas's silver. I'm just kidding. Probably would. Definitely would. 1, are you a dog fan yourself or just report on / cover the dogs? 2, your favorite UGA recruit of all time. Miko, for you, love the content. HBTFD. How about him? No, I'm not a fan. In like I'm a fan in sense of like I've always said this. I'm a fan of good football. If you're a program that plays good, clean football that I can learn from, I'm a fan of you. I promise you right now, if you watched my study habits with regards to your favorite football team, you damn sure would think I'm a fan. I mean, I am fanatical with my approach to with regards to covering and watching your football team. And yes, I am admirable. I find things about the program admirable. Do I live, die, and breathe on every down? No. I've also been very forthcoming with the fact that my business is directly tied to the success of your program. So, yeah, when they win on Saturdays, I ain't mad. All right. When they lose, I'm not like, go throw stuff out the window and break TVs, but it gives me a great thing to talk about for a couple of days. But I also know every time they lose, like they did on the road in November of October rather of 2020 or September, right, of 2020 on the road in Tuscaloosa, dude, we lost like 12 subscriptions that day, all citing that Kirby couldn't win the big game. So they all left. Now they came back. They all came back. But I lose money when they lose. So, and it's not because I lay the points every Saturday. But I lose money when they lose. So I don't like it when they lose. And I've been very forthcoming about that. And I think if anyone if any media person, especially beat reporters, right? National guys, they don't care. They just cover the national scene. They want college football to be great. But if any beat reporters sitting here telling you that they don't want their team that they're covering to be good or to win, they're just lying. Or they've always covered dog football teams, just terrible football teams. They don't know what good football teams look like or what it does to your business. I know what winning a national title last year did for this network, for this family, and for this household. So, yeah, if Georgia goes on a freaking 12-year run and winning natties, I ain't mad at it. Okay? I am not mad at it. Would you slide Delp to X? No, I would not. Hey, why are you hating on the sword, dog? Come get this. Come get this. Should I be worried that me and Griff got similar picks this weekend? Oh, man. Talk about cross-show pollinating right here. First of all, Stetson Ledford, thank you for watching all the content on this network. You, sir, are the man. Secondly, hey, I'd be fading the shit out of Griff, but that's me. I'd fade me. Okay. Here's one thing you need to know about me. I do not do what I don't know. Okay. I try not to, at least. So I don't like to come on here and peddle gambling picks if I don't have to. Okay, last year, I think we did a couple of segments where I was giving you Stone Cold Locks of the Week. That's because we had a gambling sponsor. Okay. And guess what? If we get a gambling sponsor again, we're probably going to have to peddle some picks. I'm telling you, if you like money and if you like putting food on the table, fade me every single time. Fade me, fade me, fade me. I would fade Griff. But if I'm fading Griff, that means Griff's going to win. So don't listen to me about anything when it comes to gambling. Listen to the Baxter Street Boys. That being said, if I were listening to any three of those this year, I would listen to Jake. Okay, because that motherfucker's been on a heater. But here's the deal. As soon as I hop on that train, he's done. Friggin' done. The next bridge they go across, this is going to just break in half like Toy Story, the opening scene of Toy Story 2. And it's just going to, right? Bad news bears the moment I get up on that thing. So, yeah, no, we out. Let's see here. Georgia's biggest weakness this year. Consistency. I have said on this channel multiple times, I don't think you have one glaring issue. Okay. I really don't. I don't think you have one glaring issue. I think you have an issue stacking issues, if that makes sense. Remy, here we go. Sorry. Let's get to Remy's super chat right here. With the low draft stock currently and mutual respect on both sides, do you see Tank Bigsby as a dog next year? Also, can you touch on Jaden Hazelwood eval? Why the lack of collegiate success? First of all, that Oklahoma system, that Lincoln Riley system, is not really made for X's. It's made much more for Z's. Think about the receivers that have come out of that system at Oklahoma or now at USC and had a tremendous amount of success, right? They all kind of look like Hollywood Brown. They're all like 5'11", super yak guys. Super catch the ball guys, right? That's not, I mean, even CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was the highest rated yard after catch guy as a rookie in the NFL. Okay, that's what that system's made for. Catch a drag. We've ran everybody off. Go run 25 yards, make somebody miss. Maybe we can take it 70. That's what that offense is. So, and with regards to Jaden, I think it was not a bad decision, just a bad fit. Like, again, true X's out there, that doesn't really work. Like, I think Jaden Hazelwood's much more of like a Des Bryant body type than he is a CeeDee Lamb body type, right? Or would be. Okay, even at Arkansas right now, like the success that he will have is like on back shoulder fades, big physical type routes, square ends, things like that. Even in his high school days, I mean, he was a big physical receiver, not known for like a bunch of twitch or being a crafty super veteran route runner. It was more like, hey, this guy 6'2", 200 pounds, grown man, can really go up and get it, right? Great with the ball in the air. Those types of evals don't really work in yards after catch systems, which are exactly what Lincoln Riley does. Now, as far as Tank Bigsby, there is no way in hell that dude's come back for a fifth year in college. If he does, fire everybody involved with him. Everybody. Do not let Tank Bigsby come back to college. No way in hell. Absolutely not. Okay. I personally, I thought he should have got out of Auburn this year. I thought he did them a how do you say, favor. Okay. And I don't know we're not going to speculate on why he went back, but why did he go back to Auburn? There was nothing for him there. He did not improve any draft stock. In fact, if you look at how they play him, it's almost like they didn't want him there either. That guy gets 19 touches a game. If Brian Harsin was actually coaching for his job and was like belligerent about it, Tank Bigsby would be getting a whole hell of a lot more totes right now. Okay, because he's a great football player. That being said, do not come back to college, Tank Bigsby. If you're listening to this, okay, do not come back to college. All right. I think we got them all. We got a free gifted sub here. I don't know how many got counted up. Rudes has got I got to get some water or something. I got a splitting headache. Appreciate you guys for being here. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. We will see you Saturday in Athens. If you're going to be there, I will be as well. Holla at your boy. Yes, we'll take photos. We'll do all the good stuff. No, we will not take shots or shotgun beers, anything like that, though. But yeah, we will definitely say what's up. See you. Love you.